Hello, everyone, guys, and welcome back again to Definitely Housing Podcast. I hope everyone is having a fantastic day or evening, whatever you are working on. I hope you are enjoying the process and letting it unfold naturally. I realize that I haven't uploaded in nearly 2 months due to challenges at my 9 to 5 job and personal struggles, but I'm gradually getting back to it. Despite of my busy 9 to 5 job schedule, I'm also making an effort to prioritize uploading consistently and try not to overthink things here. I usually use a Pacific overlay for my recordings here, but now I need to adjust due to not having access to premium features. By the way, StreamYard is an amazing platform for all content creators out there. At the moment, I am using their free plan just for me to be able to use this again to start recording my episodes. Only thing sucks about this is I have to make sure I'm able to, at least that's what StreamYard support told me. And also, you guys will notice that there's going to be some sort of StreamYard watermark logo on the top right corner. So don't worry about that. It just tells you that I'm using StreamYard as a platform. If this is your first time tuning on this podcast, my name is John Limdemus and welcome to Definitely Housing Podcast. If you're into this type of content, I upload mainly my valuable entrepreneurial thoughts and rants on life delivered in a video podcast format. If that's something you've been looking for and down to hear some motivational rants, then you have come to the right podcast. It will mean a world to me if you can hit that like button as if you were trying to get rid of that one toxic person in your life. And make sure to hit the subscribe button. That way you don't get missed out any new episodes I upload monthly here on YouTube or any other platform. Today's episode is good, focusing on toxicity in 2024. Let's discuss handling toxic people around you this year. If you missed the last episode, find all the links in the description below or simply click the card above the video to catch up. Before we get on to this episode, I simply want to give every listener out here a quick disclaimer about this podcast. This podcast is indeed, in fact, 100% uncensored, which means the majority of the time I'll be throwing loads of F-bombs there around the corner. In short, I'll be swearing a lot on this podcast, and also this podcast centers around me sharing my honest opinions and rants on life in general, and I tend to use some entrepreneurial aspect of it. Yes, there will be some things I say you may entirely disagree with or even get triggered by it, and that's completely fine. All I ask from you guys is if you didn't like what you have heard, then I encourage you guys to comment down below and tell me why. Other than that, if you're someone who is easily offended or someone who has an incredibly thin skin, unfortunately, this is the wrong podcast for you, or vice versa. If you are down and ready to hear some motivation rants from me, then hey, let's get on to it then. I would like to pose a question to all listeners there. Do you have someone in your life who consistently leaves you confused, frustrated, and or guilty? If so, you may be dealing with a toxic person. If not, do not worry. I have valuable insights to share in today's episode. Wondering how to handle them in 2024? I'm here to help. This episode will briefly describe what a toxic person generally might be. A toxic person is typically subtle, manipulative, selfish, and their unpleasant, malicious behavior goes on forever. They tend to act in a detrimental and hurtful manner towards others. People with such behavior likely act due to low self-esteem and insecurities, excessively concerned about other opinions, and becoming toxic. Your thoughts in the comments are amazingly welcome. Let's start a conversation for thoughtful engagement. Even with a validation for toxic behavior, it may not always justify their actions. Some are toxic simply for pleasure, but I remain convinced that is not inherent. Toxicity usually stems from life experiences shaping an individual. Now that you understand toxic behavior, you may be wondering how to recognize toxicity in someone you know. Stay tuned for signs coming up. Let's discover them together. Recognizing signs of toxic people can be challenging, as we often overlook them, leading to not realizing this sign. Therefore, it's natural that identifying toxic behavior may not be easy. What are these signs? Let's kick off with a bang, starting with the first one. They're constantly judging the hell out of others, including you as well, of course. They judge someone so much to the point that it's literally like the fucking Olympics, if that's even a thing. If it was the Olympics, these people would always be bringing home the gold medal. No silver, no bronze whatsoever. I mean, wow. Another sign of a toxic person is their constant neediness and insistence on trivial matters, perceiving minor issues as a major red flag. You know, those people who only contact you when they need something, especially if they are someone you know, or worse, a family member. It's just fucking relatable. Anyhow, if you have gotten this far of this episode and you have enjoyed this episode and my motivation rant, please consider hitting the like button on this episode. It's quick, free, and it won't even take even a second of your time. I would highly appreciate that. Next up is They are highly manipulative towards others, not necessarily in a criminal sense, but more psychologically. It's easy to overlook this behavior until it's too late. They seem proficient at manipulation for reasons unknown. Share your thoughts. Check this. Many individuals deny responsibility, blaming others instead. They always think they're always right, unwilling to admit fault, and see themselves as victims. Sounds like someone you know? Well, I have a family member with these traits. Hopefully, that person will be able to recognize their actions and improve. I genuinely wish for change, but if not, that's okay. They had their opportunities. One last clear sign of a toxic person is their obsession with drama. They view their life as a soap opera, believing drama is essential. It is selfish, idiotic, and ridiculous. Let me know if you want a podcast episode entirely dedicated to these toxic traits I have mentioned so far in the near future of this podcast. After discussing toxic people and their signs, let's now explore how to deal with them in 2024. Thank you for staying engaged so far. We're almost finished with this episode. I got you covered. Have you pondered how to deal with toxic people? If so, here are some valuable tips to guide you through handling individuals who are exceedingly toxic. In this part of the episode, I'll be discussing handling toxic people, share some important insights. I'll also conclude the episode with final thoughts shortly, although it might get lengthy. Rest assured, I won't waste your time any longer. When dealing with a toxic person, set boundaries without guilt. Understand it's a common human emotion. Know when to draw the line and take action before it's too late. When dealing with toxic people, it's important to limit your time around them. They may not realize the harm they're causing. Consider cutting ties with those individuals to move forward. This step can be tough, especially if they are family or close friends. I can relate to this struggle, like with my father. It's a complex situation I'm working on. Just know you're not alone in dealing with toxic people. One important way to handle toxic people is by avoiding getting excessively involved in their drama due to our natural curiosity and social tendencies. It's easy to be drawn into drama by curiosity, making it hard to engage from their problems. It's time to conclude with my final tip on dealing with toxic people. The key is to resist fixing things and find the strength in acceptance. It can be overwhelming and stressful when you want to help someone going through difficulties in life and feel you have valuable advice to offer. While trying to help, be aware it could result in a frustrating cycle of listening and advising without reaching a solution without helping them. The best way to avoid unnecessary drama is to remember the Polish proverb, not my circus, not my monkeys. This saying emphasizes not getting involved in other people's problems that doesn't concern you. It may seem harsh, but it's important to prioritize your time and energy on more meaningful pursuits. Remember, you are not obligated to fix other issues. Now is the perfect time for me to conclude this episode. I appreciate your presence. Let's not delay further. Here are my final thoughts. When setting boundaries with a toxic person, especially if it's a close family member, friend, or difficult coworker, it may be tough without feeling guilty. Remember, it's not only for your well-being, but for theirs too. Despite feeling uneasy, it can help them realize their wrongdoings. Set boundaries assist them in this realization. Consider approaching toxic individuals for honest heart-to-heart conversation when you are share your experiences and feelings openly. By being real and sincere, you may both gain better understanding of each other and reasons behind their toxicity. Lastly, it's time for practicing empathy and compassion. Be the better person, set an example. Toxic individuals may be suffering inwardly, hence their behavior. Connect, be genuine, avoid dishonesty, and show appreciation. As Gary Vaynerchuk advocates, empathy and is vital. This approach is key in dealing with toxic people. In 2024, dealing with toxic people is key. If you made it this far and enjoy what you saw or heard, I truly thank you. Remember, you are an amazing fucking person. If you enjoyed this kind of content, you should explore the rest of the Definitely Motivational playlist on YouTube. Click the card above this video or find all the links in the description below. Links are available below. If you are on Spotify, we would love a quick review from you guys. Share with anyone who needs to hear some motivational rant. If you want to stay updated on my social media updates and so on, I'm active on X, Instagram, and TikTok. I've been a bit behind on posting, but I appreciate your support and look forward to hearing from you. Find the links in the description below. Thanks for tuning in today. I have struggled to stay consistent with uploads recently, but I am highly committed to podcasting. Apologies for the podcast growth and inconsistency. Remember to stay dedicated and positive through tough times. Also, remember to keep the hustle and grind alive and definite. Always believe the process no matter what. Signing off. Have a great day and evening, everyone. See ya.